You've been through this, haven't you? She starts telling you about a bad day at work, about a friend who let her down, about how overwhelmed she's feeling, and you immediately go into problem solver mode, trying to fix everything. And then disaster strikes. She gets irritated, distant, says you don't understand, and you're left there, confused, thinking you were just trying to help. Pay close attention to what I'm about to tell you, because this can completely transform the way she sees you. When a woman tells you her problems, she's not looking for a mechanic. She's looking for a safe harbor. Can you feel the difference? Most men don't realize this, and that's why they end up creating distance when they should be creating connection. You're literally throwing away golden opportunities to strengthen your relationship, because no one ever taught you what's really going on in her head in those moments. Look, after years of observing hundreds of couples, I discovered an ultra-rare pattern that only the most emotionally connected men apply. And no, it has nothing to do with being too sensitive or losing your masculinity. It has to do with understanding feminine emotional language. You need to understand one fundamental thing. When she shares her vulnerabilities with you, she's giving you access to the most precious vault there is. She's saying, I trust you enough to show you my fragile side. And what do? You try to fix it like it's a broken car. Wake up, man. I'm now going to present the 5 crucial signs that show exactly what she really wants when she confides in you. And I guarantee you, after understanding this, you'll never make the same mistake again. First sign, she repeats the same story multiple times. You know when she tells you for the 3rd time about that situation at work? It's not because she forgot she already told you, it's because she's still emotionally processing. Studies show that women need to verbalize their emotions multiple times to fully process what they're feeling. It's as if her brain needs to play the movie over and over to understand all the angles. When you try to solve it the first time she tells you, you're basically saying, stop processing, I've already fixed it. And that, my friend, is like shutting down your computer in the middle of an important update. It's going to cause problems. Does that make sense to you? Second sign. She uses a lot of emotional words instead of concrete facts. Pay attention when she speaks. She doesn't just say, my boss gave me more work. She says, I feel overwhelmed, frustrated, like no one recognizes my effort. Those words aren't decoration. They're the main content. When you ignore the emotional words and focus only on the facts, you're literally ignoring 80% of her message. It's like trying to understand a song by only paying attention to the drums and ignoring the melody. You lose the entire essence. The secret here is to mirror those emotional words. When she says, I feel invisible, you respond, it must be horrible to feel invisible like that. Simple, but almost no one realizes the power of it. Can you feel the difference? Third sign, she takes long pauses, waiting for your reaction. These pauses aren't invitations for you to present your 10-step solution. They are moments where she's checking if you're truly present, if you're connected to what she's feeling. It's an internal feminine radar that detects if you're really there or just waiting for your turn to speak. During these pauses, instead of filling them with solutions, fill them with presence. A keep going, I'm listening, or a simple nod of the head is worth more than 1,000 unsolicited pieces of advice. Remember, presence before performance. Always. Are you following along? Fourth sign. She mentions how other people reacted. When she says, Maria said I should do this, or my mom thinks I'm overreacting, she's not asking you to compete with those opinions. She's testing if you're going to be different, if you're going to truly understand her instead of just adding another opinion to the pile. This is the golden moment for you to differentiate yourself. Instead of saying, Maria is wrong, or I agree with your mom, you say, and how do you feel about that? Boom. You just showed that her opinion is the only one that matters in that moment. Few men apply this, and that's why few men manage to create deep connection. Do you see the pattern? Fifth sign. She uses proximity body language. If she's physically moving closer while confiding, touching your arm, seeking eye contact, she doesn't want you to turn into Google with legs offering solutions. She wants physical and emotional connection. She wants to feel like you're a team. The dance of bodies during an emotional conversation says more than 1,000 words. When she moves closer and you respond with proximity too, maintaining eye contact, maybe holding her hand, you're saying, I'm here with you, without needing to say anything. It's communication, in its purest and most powerful form. Does that make sense now? Now I'm going to teach you the framework I've been using for years that has transformed the lives of hundreds of men. It's the Veil method, and it's ridiculously simple once you understand the logic behind it. V for validate. First thing always, acknowledge what she's feeling. That must be really frustrating, or I can imagine how difficult that is. You're not agreeing or disagreeing with the facts. You're validating her emotional experience. Big difference. For acknowledge, create a safe space. This means 0 judgment. 0, you should have done it differently. 0, I told you so. To acknowledge in this context is like emotionally opening your arms and saying, you can vent, I won't judge you. Women constantly test if the space is safe before fully opening up. Can you see that? L for limit. Limit your urge to solve. I know, it's hard. We men are programmed to fix things. But remember, she's not a problem to be solved. She's a person wanting to be heard. Count to 10 before offering any solutions. Most of the time, you won't even get to 10 because she'll find the answer herself while talking. E for understand. And here's the secret few apply. Ask directly. Do you want me to just listen? Or do you want my opinion on this? There. Simple as that. You've just eliminated 90% of misunderstandings. She'll tell you exactly what she needs, and you can act accordingly. Revolutionary, isn't it? But I know what you're thinking now. If I don't offer solutions, she'll think I'm useless, that I don't care, that I'm weak. Get over that outdated thinking. That's obsolete social programming that no longer works. The truth is the complete opposite. When you manage to be her emotional safe harbor, when you can validate and acknowledge without trying to fix everything, she sees you as a mature, secure, confident man. A man who doesn't need to prove anything, who doesn't need to have all the answers. And that, my friend, is infinitely more attractive than the desperate guy trying to solve everything. Think with me. Which man demonstrates more strength? The one who gets nervous and needs to fix everything immediately, or the one who can remain calm, listen, acknowledge, and be present? The answer is obvious when you stop to think about it. Are you still with me? Imagine this scene. You're on the couch, the smell of coffee still in the air, maybe soft music playing in the background. She starts to confide about her day. Her eyes seek yours, not for answers, but for understanding, for connection, for emotional security. This is the moment. Instead of going into lecture mode, you're simply there, present, listening to every word, every pause, every sigh. You validate what she feels. You acknowledge without judgment. And in the end, you ask if she wants your opinion or just needed to vent. The transformation on her face is immediate. Suddenly, you're not just the boyfriend or husband. You're the partner, the confidant, the safe harbor. And that changes everything in your dynamic. She starts to trust more, share more, connect more. And do you know what happens when a woman feels emotionally secure with you? She opens up completely. And I'm not just talking about emotional vulnerability. I'm talking about all aspects of the relationship. When she knows she can trust you with her emotions, she trusts you with everything. It's a ripple effect that transforms mediocre relationships into deep, lasting connections. Can you visualize that? Now pay attention, because I'm going to tell you something almost no one notices. There's a 70-20-10 rule in feminine emotional communication. 70% of what she shares is about processing emotions. 20% is about strengthening connection, and only 10% is about seeking practical solutions. When you understand this proportion, everything changes. You stop wasting energy trying to solve what doesn't need to be solved. You focus on what really matters, being present, validating, connecting. And ironically, when you do that, solutions appear naturally. She finds the answers herself while feeling heard and supported. It's almost magical when you see it happen. Remember, you don't need to have all the answers. In fact, trying to have all the answers is a sign of insecurity, not strength. The truly confident man knows when to speak and when to simply be present. He knows the difference between helping and acknowledging. Are you processing this? I'm going to give you a practical example now. Next time she starts to confide, use the emotional mirroring technique. It's simple, but few apply it. When she says, "I'm exhausted," you respond, "You're really exhausted." When she says, "No one values me," you respond, "You feel like no one values you." Does it sound silly? Try it and watch the magic happen. What you're doing is showing that you're truly listening, that you're picking up not just the words, but the emotions behind them. And that, my friend, is rarer than you imagine. Most men are so busy formulating responses that they don't truly listen. You're going to be different. Now, there's another crucial aspect I need to tell you. Timing is everything. If she's at an emotional peak, crying or very upset, that's not the time to ask if she wants solutions. That's the time to just be there. Pure presence. After the emotional storm passes, then you can check if she needs anything else. It's like surfing. You don't try to control the wave in the middle of it. You wait for the right moment. Does that make sense to you? And here's a truth that goes against everything you've been taught. Sometimes the best thing you can say is absolutely nothing. A silent hug, a hand on her shoulder, a look that says, "I'm here," is worth more than 1,000 misplaced words. Shared silence can be the deepest form of communication. But be careful. It's not just any silence. It's a present, attentive, acknowledging silence. It's the difference between being physically there and being completely there. She feels the difference instantly. Women have an internal radar for genuine presence that's impossible to fool. Are you following the reasoning? I'm going to share something now that I discovered after years of observing successful couples. The men who best navigate these situations have one characteristic in common: they don't take it personally. When she confides, it's not about you. It's not a veiled criticism. It's not a test. It's simply a human need to be heard and understood. When you remove your ego from the equation, everything becomes easier. You stop being defensive, stop feeling like you need to prove something, stop turning everything into a competition. And that frees you up to truly be present for her. Do you see the freedom in that? Now pay close attention, because this is crucial. There's a huge difference between empathy and sympathy. Sympathy is, "I feel sorry for you." Empathia is, "I feel with you." Women don't want your pity. They want your understanding. They want to know that you can put yourself in their shoes, even if you've never been through the same situation. And that requires practice. But when you master this skill, when you can truly demonstrate genuine empathy, you become the kind of man every woman looks for. Not the hero who solves everything, but the partner who understands everything. Big difference. Can you feel the power of that? There's one last thing I need to tell you, and this is ultra rare. Women constantly test if you remember what they've shared. It's not conscious, it's instinctive. When you show that you remember the emotional details she shared, you're showing that it was important to you too. How was that situation with your boss that you mentioned yesterday? Boom. You just showed that you not only listened, but that it stayed with you, that you care enough to remember. And that, my friend, builds a connection that no money can buy. Are you seeing the pattern? The truth is that mastering this ability to be an emotional safe harbor isn't just about improving your relationship. It's about becoming a more complete, more connected, more human man. It's about understanding that true strength isn't in having all the answers, but in having enough presence to acknowledge all the questions. And that changes everything. Not just how she sees you, but how you see yourself. You stop feeling the pressure to be the superhero and start experiencing the freedom of being the partner. You stop trying to impress and start connecting. You stop performing and start being present. Do you see the transformation? Now you have a choice. You can continue being the problem mechanic, creating distance, when you should be creating connection. Or you can apply what you've learned here and become the safe harbor she's looking for. The choice is yours. But I guarantee you, once you experience the depth of connection this creates, you'll never want to go back to the old way. The clock is ticking. Every conversation is an opportunity. Every confiding moment is a chance to strengthen or weaken your connection. Don't waste another one. Apply the VALE method today. Be the safe harbor, not the mechanic. And watch how everything changes. If this made sense to you, if it opened your eyes to something you hadn't noticed before, hit that like button now. Subscribe to the channel before you forget. because I guarantee you, the upcoming content will further transform how you understand and navigate relationships. Remember, she doesn't need a mechanic. She needs a safe harbor. And now you know exactly how to be that for her.